What's up? How's it going? Welcome to Dave's Watch channel. Happy New Year. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about my latest acquisition, the Rolex Submariner ceramic, reference 116610LN. So I picked this up a couple days ago. I did an unboxing video, and I've worn this for the past couple days, and I just want to let you know my thoughts, what I really like about this watch, and what what I'm not too sure of. Right, this watch needs no introduction. Right, this is probably the most popular watch ever made, the Rolex Submariner. It's an icon, right? It's here to stay. It's a legend. It's a wristwatch legend. It's an aspirational piece, probably the most faked watch ever. And I just want to give you my thoughts on this watch, right? A little bit of background in terms of my ownership of the Submariner. I've owned the 14060, the two-line Submariner, and I've also briefly owned the 5513, right? The vintage Submariner, plexiglass. This one is the latest incarnation of the Rolex Submariner. And let's start with what I really like about this watch, and what I feel has been upgrades from its predecessors. And I think it goes beyond question. Is really with the bracelet and the clasp, right? The bracelet is a solid bracelet, right? You will not have any stretching. It's a solid link, right? No stretching. And of course, you have this glide lock system, which is just so innovative and so useful, right? Your wrists will swell and it will contract depending on the temperature, climate, humidity, your diet, and so this range of adjustability is extremely useful, and very, very well thought of and well made, right? The bracelet is phenomenal. It is truly an upgrade from the previous bracelets, although it probably weighs, it does weigh more than the older generation bracelets, but it is a clear upgrade, and it is a better bracelet overall. And that's my biggest right, is the bracelet and the clasp. Okay, in terms of the aesthetics of the watch, the design of the watch, it's a beautiful watch, right? The ceramic insert, right? I really love how, depending on the lighting, it can look gray, it can look a little bit like a ghost insert, even though it's black, but it always looks a little bit different depending on your light conditions. And it makes it interesting. It really does, right? Ceramic insert is great. It always looks fresh. It always looks new on your wrist. If that's something that appeals to you, you want your watch looking fresh and new, then this watch is a great one, right? The ceramic Rolexes. It's beautiful, right? Okay. In terms of so that's what I like about it, right? I do like the ceramic insert. I do like how it plays with the light. I do like the bracelet. I do like the clasp. The maxi dial, sure, it's a great. It looks great. It's a beautiful watch. Okay, what I guess not too big of a fan of is the lugs, right? The lugs are a little bit too thick. It's a beefy watch, right? It's a chunky watch. Even though it's a 40mm diameter watch, it does wear. It definitely does wear larger than the 5-digit Rolexes. The lugs are just a little bit, I find it just a little bit too thick for my liking. But it's just the trend, right? The trend of the last decade or so, from 2010 onwards, was for larger watches. Why did this happen? Well, I think part of the reason is that women started wearing men's watches, and when they beefed up the case when watches became bigger, there was no question that this was a man's watch, right? So I guess it comes down to masculinity. I guess I'm opening up a can of worms here, but when you look at this watch, there's no question, it's made for men, right? However, I think, I think it would be hard for women to pull off a watch like this one, like and of course the deep sea and watches that are bigger. So it's representative of the trends of the last decade, right? For the thicker lugs, it's not quite for me. I prefer the lugs to be a little thinner, a little more smoother, a little bit more elegant. But hey, if you want a chunky, a bigger looking watch, and that, hey, this is the way to go, right? That's really my main criticism, and it's just preference, right? It's still a beautiful watch, it really does, but I just think the lugs are a little bit overkill. The other criticism I have about the modern Rolexes and the ceramic insert in general is that I think in terms of aging, this watch will not age as well compared to like vintage Rolexes, right? The reason for that is, the ceramic insert is very scratch resistant, right? And the case and the bracelet will age, right? As you can tell over here, there are a couple scuffs already, just light swirls and stuff, nothing major, like a little scuff here. So the bracelet and case will show signs of aging. However, the insert will always look fresh and look new. So the aging will not be even. The dial will also look very fresh and new 10, 20, 30 years from now on. However, right, the bracelet and the case, right, will definitely show signs of aging as time goes on, as you wear it more often, right? These things happen. So the aging will not be even. Unlike vintage Rolexes, right? 4-digit Rolexes. Why are those watches so coveted and collectors pay big money for those? Is because the aging is consistent from the bracelet to the case to the dial to the hands to the insert. Everything ages, and so the vintage Rolexes they just look warm. There's a certain warmth to it, right? There's patina on the lume plots, on the dial, on the hands, right? It becomes creamy, it becomes yellow, it becomes pumpkin colored, and people pay big money for those because the watch shows aging and it feels more organic, it feels alive. However, this watch, I don't want to use the word cold, but it will be very consistent. It will always look new. It will probably look, if I just left this untouched, unworn in the box, it will probably look the same 10 years from now. However, for the vintage Rolexes, probably not. However, in terms of usability, right, if you're gonna use and you're gonna wear the watch, you're gonna go swimming, you're gonna go diving, right, this is the way to go, right? The technological advancements in this watch compared to the older Rolexes has definitely, it's a revolution, I would say. It's almost like a different watch, right? It's a beautiful Rolex Submariner. So in terms of usability and durability, right, this is definitely an upgrade from the vintage Rolexes. You got a vintage Rolex, right, 5513 with patina dial. I would refrain from going swimming. I wouldn't even want to get it wet, right? You don't want any moisture damage from those watches, let alone diving, right? However, this is built to last. This watch is built to endure physical trauma and very tough conditions, and therefore, which watch is for you, right? Are you a watch user? Are you a watch collector? Are you a watch hoarder? I don't know, right? Only you can answer that. But if you are going to use your watches, go diving, go swimming in the ocean, I highly recommend this watch. It's a beautiful watch. Okay, will this stay in my collection? That's another topic, right? But I think I think the Submariner is a great watch, right? The modern subs. All right, so do a little wrist shot. You know, my wrists are about 6¼ inches, not huge wrists. It's definitely a lot of presence, right? Like I said, right, it's a bit chunky at the lugs. My preference is for it to be a little thinner. So anyway, this is just my user review of the Rolex Submariner. All right, thanks for watching. I'm out. Bye.